All right, hello. I'm glad to be back with a tarot reading. Okay, so here is what we are reading. I have written down my questions. We will be asking the cards. Why are occultists denouncing metaphysical stuff? What do I need? What do I and you guys watching need to know about this? What can we know about a spiritual war that's been mentioned? I don't think I want to name celebrities. Because we're not really talking about them, but I'm sure you guys all know. If you clicked on this video to watch it, you probably know the two main ones that have been the last couple of years speaking out. Whatever. Anyways, any advice or actions that we need to take, anything that might come up during the reading that would cause me to want clarification, we'll also be doing that. We'll add it throughout. All right. Now, I can't remember if I do this one reversed or not. No, this is not a reverse deck. I'm pretty sure most of my decks are. There is one where they keep reversing, so that deck wants to be read once reversal's read. Normally, I don't read reversals. All right. Why are occultists denouncing metaphysical practices? Interesting. Oh, very interesting. Gosh. The world, Eight of Swords, Four of Swords. I feel like it's outside pressure is what I'm getting for this, as far as like why are people kind of all of a sudden leaving the spiritual, occult, witchy stuff. I feel like it's outside pressure from the world. This is like being bound. But I also feel like the Four of Swords is about rest, and maybe taking a break, but it's a temporary, it's not a permanent, like, gone. I feel like it's a temporary binding. They've been bound is what I'm getting here. Normally the Eight of Swords would be read as, you're bound, you have done it to yourself. It's kind of your own doing. But with this deck, I don't see that because of how this is laid. In other decks, you would see where there is a loose string or a hand free where it looks like you could untie it. But this deck, if the hands are underneath that and then it's bound, I don't feel like this is a self-doing situation. I feel like there's outside pressure. And binding, literal being bound. So maybe just maybe, there are stronger witches or spiritualists, practitioners that are binding these people from their practice. That's what I'm taking away from that. I feel like there's an outside force. And also we get cycles with the World card. But yeah, I'm feeling like this is like a binding, almost. If I want to be like super cringy about it, I feel like they're being like bound by government witches. I don't know. So what do we need to know about this? Like, what's the takeaway for us, me and you watching this? What's the takeaway? What do we need to know about this? There's another 8. There's another cycle. See this even has a little bit of a swirl going to it too. The 8 of Wands is about manifestation for me. It's about quick movement, things coming in. The energy that you have already put out previously is now responding. Is like the 8 of Wands for me. 7 of Wands is a little bit about like being defensive or even protective. And the Magician, I'm just gonna try and like make those flat. And the Magician being about cycles, obviously with the Ouroboros there, biting its own tail. I have a whole video talking about, it's one of the Metaphysical Monday videos where we were doing monthly topics and we would pick a symbol, and the Ouroboros was one of the symbols, and I talk about that, about the Ouroboros biting its own tail, and it's kind of like a self-realization, and I feel like the Magician card kind of gives that energy too. aside, because the question I asked is, what do I or whoever's watching this need to know about occultists leaving their practice? And we get the magician card. What do we need to know? And I feel like that's like kind of know your own magic. It's a lot of, there's some self-realization that you are powerful. I feel like it's again, also with the combine that with the Eight of Wands here, where I feel like typically for me this is a manifestation card. Eight's our manifestation number, and this card is about your manifestations coming into you. We have a swirling as the imagery for this deck, though, which is also, I feel like, kind of pulling in the circularness of the cycle that would be represented in the World card and with the Ouroboros here. Ouroboros legend is mentions about it being surrounding the earth as a protector as well, containing the chaos. Yeah, I feel like there is almost maybe a containment of magic going on here. And there's going to be some backlash that's going to require defensiveness. Now, what can we know about a spiritual war? Very interesting. Getting majors in every question, too. King of Wands, I feel like there is a head of this spiritual war. Six of Pentacles, kind of giving back, writing. I feel like as it relates to today, this would be like maybe a reparations kind of situation, or payback for something that was lost. Not payback in a vindictive or vendetta sense, but payback as in like this was taken from you long ago and now we're returning it. And that with the hanged man, the hangman being from an enlightened perspective or trying to reach a different perspective. I feel like there is a shift. There is a little bit of shift, a power imbalance kind of being righted. And here we have another lizard with the tail connecting to the head, with that Ouroboros from here containing chaos. I feel like maybe this is a necessary thing, but I feel like it's an attempt to right some wrongs and gain a new perspective. Any advice or actions we should take? You're gonna have, yeah, okay, that's good. So the Nine of Pentacles for me is all about independence and doing your own thing. The Six of Wands is victory, and then we have a Queen of Swords over here who's I feel like again with that whole like spiritual war and shift energy, we have the King of Wands here, and then we shift to more of a Queen of Swords. So communication is going to be important. So, and victory, like, be steadfast, hold your ground, don't be afraid to work yourself, to success. So work on yourself. Victory is coming. Make sure that you stay with that in mind. But also you need to stay on top of communication. We need to stay on top of the communication and clarity. So I feel like clarity is on the horizon for us. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you in the next one. Have a blessed day.